You, what's happening? Had some people that stopped by already. Oh, a bunch of people, huh? Liquid says to support Elon and Vivek. I don't know that I'm on board with that. Damien, over my dead crappie. It's a fish, Jim. I know what it is. My father used to fish for them. I'm not going to go through the explanation of what the fuck it is. The fuck are you? It's funny because I was just looking at some fish videos. Special K. Chill. What's up, people? What's happening? What's up, Jeremiah? I hope you don't. It was a joke, Jeremiah. It was meant to lure a couple commies in and, maybe start an argument. No, I don't think Trump is God. I just, wrote it sarcastically. So, I don't think Trump is God, no. And I don't know that I agree with all this so-called backlash against Elon and Vivek. Because I heard Vivek talk about this, and he wasn't suggesting to bring in immigrants. At least in that one speech I heard him say, he wasn't saying that. He was saying that Americans need to stop promoting normalcy. American families need to stop promoting normalcy just to be normal in education with their kids. And he's right. You have a lot of these foreigners come over, and if they're educated and they do astoundingly well because they're hungry, they're looking for the dream, the American dream, they're looking to make money, and American families don't teach their children to strive for excellence. A lot of them don't. I mean, you look at Asian families. Believe me, Asians ain't. They're humans. They ain't no smarter than anybody else, but their families push their children to get a good education. They also push them not to disrespect their family. That's why you don't see a lot of them involved in crime in the U.S. I mean, you go to any of the jails that I was in. I remember seeing one Asian dude, one, and that was in the county jail. None of this. I was in a few different state jails. No Asian. One Asian kid when I was in the juvenile joint. So that's because that's the way their families raise them. Your family can influence you greatly. That's why the commies don't like families. Commies are anti-family. Of course, the hybrid version of communism, they'll probably tell you that that's not true, but the moment it gets instituted, all the useful idiots, the gays, the transgenders, the pseudo-intellectualists, they'll all be thrown down the toilet. They should improve their own countries. I agree. Broadcast bar, what's happening? What's happening? Yep, Merry Christmas. I don't believe in Asians, Jimmy. Well, I don't think I believe in them, but I think I have a pretty good idea why Asians do well in the United States. I mean, a lot of them come from communist countries. They like the freedom that they get in the United States, and they teach their children to strive for excellence. More so than most American families. Yeah. What the fuck is that? Microsoft is requesting. Okay. You're right. I do jail ministry. I only see one Asian. You look Vietnamese. Yeah. Well, the reason why you don't see many of them because the family, it would bring shame to the family, and that's probably the worst thing you can do. Worse than the actual crime, whatever it is you did, bringing shame to an Asian family. That's how they see it. Apparently, it works. Apparently, it works. Uh, uh, uh. A lot of them come from, especially Vietnam. I mean, I remember a bunch of them came over in the 70s, and they couldn't do shit. They couldn't make a living under the communist rule, but they come over here and start a business, whatever. They're doing pretty well for themselves. None of them folks made out well. AJ, if anybody's mental here, it's you. It was a joke, asshole. But see, that would never cross your mind, right? Never cross your mind that I was being sarcastic. It was just to catch a nitwit like you. And apparently it worked. You bit. Oh, God. I've seen people genuinely disturbed by that Oriental word. Oriental, Asian, I mean, what the fuck? It's just like calling me Scottish or Irish, The word Oriental. Oriental. Nice catch, Jimmy. Yeah. I caught one idiot with my title. That's AJ. Shocking. All right, so I'm going to play this video, right? Now, I didn't know this, right? I just saw this video today. It's like 16 minutes long. It's basically the origins of modern transgender surgery, and it's horrific. Like I had no idea about this. I saw Jordan Peterson promoting something about it, and this is actually Oprah. Or is it? Yeah, well, it's showing how Oprah interviewed this. Well, I guess he was a man then, but it's terrible. This woman has twins, and they have some kind of deformity with their penises. Yeah, they're fucking infants, and the doctor suggests circumcision would probably straighten it out. And the first kid they tried to do circumcision, they were using a cauterizing tool, and they basically burned this kid's dick up. They fuck his dick up, and they don't do the circumcision on the other kid because I guess they wouldn't, right? So they go home, and this kid's got like a useless dick, and the parents don't know what to do, and I think they hear of this psychiatrist. I think they see him. No, he's a psychologist. They see him on TV. His name's Mooney, and he's talking about making boys into girls and girls into boys. If your sex is ambiguous, you can do that and all. And I mean, this doctor wound up abusing these twins, and it's just a really sad story. So I thought it was very interesting because I had never heard this before. But I'm gonna go ahead and play it. It's pretty interesting. I mean, so this just goes to prove the whole transgender thing. It's mostly bullshit. I think there's probably some percentage of people that actually, like have gender dysphoria, but it's skyrocketed in like the last 10, 15 years. And there's a reason for that, because of the media, some of these kids, you can see their parents are clearly fucked up. Their parents are living vicariously through these children. They get attention. They're fucking narcissistic or whatever their fucking problem is. It's sick. But so hold on here. What the fuck?
And therefore, you're not fully.
For years, this case was called a medical triumph, but in truth, the case was a failure, devastating the lives of just about everybody involved. This is David.
I would try and convince him that he was doing it because he was a tomboy and that it was okay to be himself, or herself, I would say at the time.
I didn't do it because I liked it. I did it because I wanted so desperately to fit in because I was so lonely.
Gender dysphoria is a condition that is deeply painful for many people, and it's increasing in its occurrence today. Transgender surgery has a really dark history, and I think everybody needs to know it. I think it's key that we understand the history of where transgender surgeries even came from. And I want to focus today on a key person that you should know about and his story. His name is David Reimer. You may not have heard of David Reimer in conversations about gender or sex, because David Reimer actually is proof of the darkness of the transgender ideology. David Reimer was actually born Bruce Reimer, and he had a twin brother. Bruce and his twin brother Brian, when they were very young, about 8 months old, were diagnosed with a condition that the doctor said circumcision would help heal. And so little Bruce was first to go and was taken in to be circumcised. And in the circumcision, they damaged Bruce's penis. After this botched.
Can you imagine that? You're a fucking kid and they fuck your dick up? Wow. AJ, what was that like?
Circumcision. The condition that the two little twin boys had actually went away for the other brother. So he never underwent circumcision. They decided not to do it because of what happened to Bruce. But the parents were now left with this beautiful little baby boy who was severely maimed. And in that process, they ended up watching television one day. They watched a program with John Money on it, the psychiatrist John Money, who at the time was doing experimental transgender surgeries. And John Money was saying, hey, listen, if you have ambiguous genitalia, then you can be raised as a different sex than you are biologically. And so the parents started thinking, well, maybe we can raise Bruce as a girl. So they ended up taking Bruce and his twin brother to see John Money. And this is where all the horrors began. John Money would eventually remove both of Bruce's testicles. He would instruct the parents to raise Bruce as a girl, changing his name to Brenda.
See, what you don't know is AJ is short for Angelina Jolie.
And he would start the process of ultimately genderizing Bruce, now Brenda, as a little girl. In the process, Dr. Money would actually sexually abuse both boys. So he would instruct the parents to leave them with him for clinical visits, and he would actually have the boys commit sexual acts with each other. So he'd sexually abuse them. And the boys were so disturbed by this.
So you hear this shit? So the doctor talks this woman into getting the kid surgically, chopping the cock off and his balls and all this, and buying him dresses and talking everybody around him into treating him like a girl. And he wanted to see both of the twins. I don't know why both, but he got to see them once a year. He got the mother to bring them to him. And he sexually abused. He had these kids playing with each other. Yeah. The whole thing is sick.
They would cry, they would ask not to go, but the parents would still send them, and the psychiatrist would even abuse them more. He would physically abuse them if they weren't doing these sex acts with each other. So the abuse that he perpetuated on Bruce and his brother is completely, it's unbelievably horrific. And this is a psychiatrist, which, by the way, continued to have his license until his death. When Bruce became an adolescent, being called Brenda, he actually would discover the truth of his birth because he asked questions. He didn't want to be a girl anymore. He wanted to be a boy. And his parents would admit to him that they had had his testicles removed and that he was actually born a boy. And when they first shared this with him, his one question was, "What was my name?" And they told him, "Your name was Bruce." And it's at that point he adopted the name David instead, because he wanted to be like David, who was able to slay the giant and overcome tremendous difficulties. So he had a fighting spirit. He was a beautiful person who had a fighting spirit. And we're actually going to watch the exclusive interview that he did with Oprah Winfrey in 2000, talking about the trauma that he endured and the forgiveness that he had in his heart ultimately for those who harmed him.
For years, this case was called a medical triumph, but in truth, the case was a failure, devastating the lives of just about everybody involved.
Oprah's admitting it already. I mean, this is like the OG detransitioner. It's so tragic that his story has not echoed more to today, that not more people know this story.
So you hear that? And this was years ago. This is when Oprah was normal. But she just said it. He was the OG detransitioner. Like the whole thing is based on fucking tragedy.
This is David, who has remained anonymous until now, only known in the medical journals as John Joan. And this is Janet Reimer, David's mother, who made the agonizing decision to change the sex of her son.
You can't actually change your sex. You cannot change your sex. All you can do is take hormones to change the hormonal balances in your body. You can do surgeries to remove body parts and make maybe fake body parts. That's what you can do. You can dress a different way. You can put on makeup, but you cannot change your sex.
And to raise him as a girl. And what you all at home didn't see during the taping of that piece, we could tell Janet you're, moved and probably disturbed by.
I can't imagine being the mother. I mean, I can't. If that happened to a child, like my child, first of all, I would never, but let's say in that position years later and you're realizing that you did do something horrible and that you also gave a predator access to your children regularly and forced your children to go see that predator. I mean, multiple levels of devastation. And you can kind of see it on her face here.
David, you comfort her.
Yes, she's hurting right now. Mothers are all over the world are all alike. There's guilt. It's darned if you do and darned if you don't. Mm-hmm. What things that were done out of compassion, out of love for your child. Mm-hmm. And how can I hate my mother for that?
What an amazing guy. What a
Wow, dude is he's pretty forgiving of his mother. You can't blame her because they fucked the kid's dick up. And she don't know what to do. And you got this fucking doctor, talking about he can change the sex of somebody. AJ, my daughter doesn't speak to me because of the sick feminist cunt that she has for a mother. See, her mother twisted this poor kid up. And there's really not a whole lot I can do about it. Until my daughter grows the fuck up, gets a little more mature, Carol dies, I don't know what. But it's damn sure isn't, I didn't do anything to this fucking kid. So go fuck yourself, AJ. And let me tell you something, AJ. You have a child, right? Which I don't think you ever will. What woman would want to have a child with you? But anyway, you have a child and see that child go to Harvard like my kid did, okay? Because your kid's just going to grow up to be a fucking clown. Kind of like daddy.
saint. His example here is such a good example for anybody who's fighting against the trans ideology. He has compassion. I mean, he's clearly speaking out against the ideology in this interview and the ideology that led them to make the decisions they made, and John Money and what he did, the doctor. But he has so much compassion for his own mother and forgiveness. And he's saying that he's seeing the good intention, because there are a lot of good intentions. I mean, people that are facing gender dysphoria, people that are choosing to try to transition, or their parents of kids who are transition, many of them, not all, because I do think there are some with bad intentions, or they're very egotistical, or through narcissism, or there's all kinds of other issues, right? But for some, I think there is true compassion, and he is acknowledging that in his own mother. And I think it's so, his posture is one of so much love, like real virtue here, to be able to do that. And it's something I think we can all learn from.
Did you think he would hate you?
Yes, I did.
Mm-hmm. Did you hate yourself?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So you talk on the tape about the day you first put the dress on. Did you have agonizing feelings about it even when the doctor, or were you of that generation or kind of person when the doctor said this would be best? Did you all believe that it would be best?
Yes, I had complete faith in the doctor.
It's so crazy. It's like the power of a doctor, the power of an authority figure, the power of a parent suggesting to a child.
Can you imagine when AJ was born? The fucking parents took one look at him and they said, what do we do? We can't make him into a girl. He's fucking ugly.
You may be a boy or a girl. We don't know yet. The power of a doctor saying, oh, you feel like you like to wear dresses, or you like to do more feminine things. You might be a girl. The power of suggestion from an authority figure to totally wreak havoc on a young, impressionable person's life. And that's what a lot of the transmania and cult is doing today.
I believed it would be best, but when he started to rip it off, I started to have doubts.
So I'm going to tell a story here. Over a decade ago, I was on an investigative trip investigating abortion clinics. It's what I do at Live Action. And I was with a team, and we were in a cafe somewhere in New
This is a good story. Listen to this.
England. And we were having lunch, basically. And then this couple came in. There were these two men. One of them was cross-dressing. It was very clearly a man, very skinny, very angular. He was wearing women's clothing, like a mini skirt. And they had this child with them. The child was beautiful, had this bright, curly, red hair, tightly wound, and was wearing this very glittery, kind of dramatic dress and these like kind of like Dorothy type golden sparkly shoes, had dolls. And immediately my eyes went to this family, because like you can tell there's no mom. This is a cross-dressing dude who's who's playing the part of a dad or playing the part of a mom. And we started strike up a conversation with them. So I still have kind of investigator mode on, because we're on an investigative trip to investigate abortion clinics. And this couple says that her name is Roxanne, and it's going to be Roxanne's birthday soon. At one point, my investigative partner says, Roxanne has such a beautiful hair, because it was this beautiful, like curly red hair. And one of the men who was dressing as a woman says she was had long, beautiful hair, but she locked herself in the bathroom with scissors and cut it all off.
But when he started to rip it off, I started to have doubts.
And so then I asked the little girl, who I realized in that moment is not a girl. And I said, Roxanne, why did you cut off all your hair? And this little boy says to me, because it was getting too long. So we complete the conversation. They actually ended up inviting us to like the birthday party, or said, Roxanne's having a birthday party. They were very kind of social, kind of very almost flamboyant about inviting people into their family life. Like, this is my family. This is my daughter. And I thought, what do I do? I just witnessed a child who's being psychologically abused by two men who are probably the adoptive parents. What do I do for this child? Do I call the police? Is there a social service line to call? And I started to do some research, and it's like, no, this was the early seeds of transgenderism being pushed on children, because at that time, and this was a decade ago, there was already the Rainbow Alliance with, I think it was 70,000, they claimed, youths and children who are identifying as transgender. Now, if you're a child and you're identifying as transgender, you are not identifying as transgender. Thoughts are being put into your head by your parents or media or teachers around you that transgender is even a thing, and that you are biologically not the same thing as your own.
That's absolutely correct. Young children aren't thinking about sex, gender. It's ridiculous.
Gender, because you can be a little boy and have more feminine attributes. You can be a little girl and have more masculine attributes. That does not change your sex, which is your gender. They are the two of the same thing. We've only changed the idea of gender to be separate from sex in the last century. Gender is a construct for language, which doesn't have biology. You are your gender, you are your sex. It's the same thing. This is the result, the consequence of authority figures doing evil things, even if they're doing it with misguided compassion.
And during the whole journey of trying to create a feminine being, there were doubts along the way, but I couldn't afford to contemplate them because I couldn't afford to be wrong. I couldn't have faced the alternative.
And the alternative being what? That you'd made this horrible mistake.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's the double down effect. And you see what Jazz Jennings is a character from TLC, and the mother is super involved. Like her whole identity is her child, her little boy turning into a girl, basically. And you see these parents that have made their identity now to be the parents of trans kids, and the surgeries and the medical appointments and the whole sort of lifestyle of it. And they have to keep doubling down on it. Because if they acknowledge, oh, wait, I made a mistake here. I mean, the crushing guilt and also the liability, possibly future liability for them, it's a lot to contemplate.
Since your earliest memories, you never felt like you were a boy, a girl.
I never quite fit in.
The culture can overemphasize gender stereotypes, sex stereotypes. And if that is then weaponized against kids, like there's something wrong with you because you as a boy like art, or there's something wrong with you because you as a girl like climbing trees, and therefore you're not fully a girl anymore, you're not fully a boy, that's a problem with the culture. It's not a problem with the child. And this is an extreme case with David, because he's talking about, describing, he was the victim of a medical accident, medical malpractice, basically. And so this whole thing evolved, and then like this crazy ideology of this Dr. Money, who was one of the first trans surgeons, right?
The girls would do their things with their Barbies and things like that, and that wouldn't interest me. Things such as trucks and.
I think she got that wrong. The Dr. Money is, I believe, a psychologist. He's not. I don't believe he's a surgeon.
Building forts and getting to the odd fist fight and climbing trees. That's the kind of stuff that I like, but it was unacceptable. So I'd never.
As a girl.
As a girl, I had no place to fit in.
What would you say to him when he would act out his maleness?
I would try and convince him that he was doing it because he was a tomboy, and that it was okay to be himself, or herself, I would say at the time. It was okay to be herself, but she was very much a tomboy.
I tried to fit in.
Hold on, people. We got a moron. I knew I'd snare another moron. It's Brittany. Trump supposedly said this. I don't know that he said it or not. I doubt that Trump did say, I moved on her like a bitch. Why would he say that? A bitch is a female dog. Brittany, do you approve of men in the women's room? Got another I think I might have snagged another commie. This is almost over.
I tried with the makeup, and it turned out to be a disaster. I didn't do it because I liked it. I did it because I wanted so desperately to fit in because I was so lonely.
I mean, so many kids feel like they don't fit in today, in part because of gender stereotypes. I mean, the problem is not your body. The problem is the culture. And
I let one boy kiss me on my cheek once. And I thought about it. I said, no, I don't like this. I can't help that. I am what I am.
Did you feel you when you say I am what I am, but you didn't know what that was?
I wasn't sure.
But here's the thing. There are, I guarantee you, young boys today who are putting on makeup in order to fit in. It's like, what does it mean to like something as a child? What does it mean to like something? You're looking for belonging. You're looking for maybe your, praise or comfort or attention. You're looking for attention maybe from your parents. You're not getting attention from them. And so the way you can get attention is by acting out in X or Y or Z way. So it's so much complexity here. That's why if a kid, like a boy, is putting on makeup, that doesn't make him a girl. I think you have to deep down, why is he putting on makeup? He sees his mother doing it maybe, or like he is an artist. He likes art, or, he's very like into like the physical sensation of the thing. Like there's so much complexity to a person and all the things that they do or choose, especially for children and what they're learning and exploring and experimenting. And so it's so pernicious to take that exploration and that innocence and to say that, oh, now this means you are trans. And you need to, you're not at home in your own body. Your body, there's a problem with your body. David would eventually commit suicide after experiencing severe depression. So he had a very tragic ending in his beautiful life. And that the suicidality rate, the suicide rates for people who are trans are higher than any other suicide rate that's documented in history of any people group. And it's because if someone is already feeling at war with their body, and in this case, David Reimer wasn't even feeling at war with his body. His parents were at war with his body, right? His body had been maimed in a medical malpractice. But if you're feeling at war with your body, the solution is not to go to war with your body. It's to heal. It's to heal and reintegrate with your body, because your body is good. And that is the ultimate message for anyone struggling with gender dysphoria or struggling with hatred for their body or discomfort with their body. There are a lot of different kinds of personalities. There's a lot of different ways to be a woman or to be a man, to be a human, but your body is not a mistake. Let the diversity be in how we live out being human and not make the mistake of going to war with our bodies.
Yeah, here's how smart AJ is. He said that was dumb. What could possibly be dumb about it? It was a woman highlighting the story of this kid that was fucking basically betrayed by a monster. The man was a monster. Not only did he talk the mother into trying to change the kid's sex, which is impossible, but the guy was whatchamacallit? He was molesting him and his brother. This psychologist. I'll tell AJ, you really, I don't think I've met somebody more stupid than you. To say that was dumb. What's dumb about it? Like, you're a fucking idiot. You really are. AJ is a mistake. Yeah, I heard his mother cried for days. Here you go. Here's another genius statement. Trans have high suicide rates because people like you ridicule them. No, AJ. AJ, do you know why I ridicule them? Because there was a movement afoot to force me to address them as something that clearly they're not. I'm not going to use your pronouns. If you look like Steve, I'm not calling you Susie. That's how I'm going to do it. Do you understand? That's why you get made fun of. If you want to force me to accept your delusion, I'm going to laugh you out of existence. It's that simple. I'm going to laugh you out of existence. No one's forcing me to address you as a female when clearly you're a man. It's just not going to happen. People can do what they want. That's how I'm going to fucking handle it. Trans have high suicide rates because the whole thing is mental, AJ. You understand that? Even they have high suicide rates even after they transition. So if transition is the solution for them, and this is what's being told to them, then why are they still killing themselves at very high rates after the operation? See, AJ, you don't have the critical thinking skills to even consider that. Like, it's easier for you to turn the TV on and, oh, that's why? Because people make fun of them? If that was the case, AJ, children would be killing themselves at high rates because kids make fun of each other. They do it all the time. That's normal for children to make fun of each other. Of course, the left, they want to call it bullying, but bullying is very different, I think. There's teasing, and then there's bullying. To me, is a physical thing. You know what I mean? No. AJ, how come you don't commit suicide? I'm making fun of you. My entire chat makes fun of you. So if you were to go commit suicide, would that be my fault? You're a fucking idiot. AJ is a mistake. He certainly is. AJ, we ridicule you constantly. Yeah, go kill yourself. Go jump off a bridge. See where that takes you. Come on the chat, Cyberboy. You won't. Cyberboy, if you want to come on the chat, let me know. I'll get you and AJ on. Yeah. Yeah, AJ constantly has opinions on things he knows nothing about. Oh shit. What the fuck am I doing? AJ. Chronicles of Ridiculed. Next week, I'm going to come on and show off the website. Yeah, that's fine. And Cyberbully, if you want to come on too, because AJ's insinuating that you're afraid to come on with him. So come on and tear him up. People are different. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, but see, when you see, here's the difference with you, AJ. If you disagree, if somebody doesn't think the way you do, they're just wrong, and they need to be canceled and all that happy horse shit. You're falling in line with all that shit. Yeah, get Cyberbully on there, then I'll come on. Yeah, come on, AJ. You ain't making deals to come the fuck on. It ain't up to you, motherfucker. Yeah. Why would you care if people get physically and emotionally scarred? Well, I mean, I care about children in this whole trans thing because I think it's wrong. I do. I think it's wrong. I don't think small children think about sex and gender unless they're led to it by their parents, the media, teachers. I think teachers are some of the most evil fucking people in the world. I do. The teachers pushing their political ideologies on kids, racism, all this other shit. Sex, communism. Jeremy said, come on, AJ. Come show us you on the third reserve. So, Jeremiah, you're drinking, but the difference is AJ said that he quit. And I can almost guarantee you he's on the second or third steel reserve right now with a fatty on the side. You know what I mean? So, another steel reserve of Miller. Oh, Christ, that's even worse. I don't drink any of that American piss water. I drink the, I was, when I was drinking the microbrews, the stronger beers. Taste better. Less trips to the bathroom. Less trips to the bathroom. Jeremiah, I'm not drinking. It ain't gonna last, AJ. Not with you. I'm 19 months sober. I can say that legitimately. You know what I mean? So you ain't swinging out that long. You fat fuck. I had to stop smoking weed. That's because that fucking weed you were smoking is too strong. Dude, when you smoke that really strong weed, you just take a fucking hit. You know what I mean? See where it takes you. That fucking weed today, man, some of that shit's way too fucking strong. You can take tolerance breaks too. Take a month or two off from smoking weed. You'll save money and, enjoy it better when you come back to it. Damien said, AJ, what makes a woman? He can't answer that. See, now AJ thinks men can become women, but he won't fuck them. Right? So that tells me he doesn't believe what he says because he won't put his money where his mouth is. If you truly believe that men can become women, then they should be on the smorgasbord of other women, right? Because they're women, right? You should be willing to stick your dick in them, right? And when it came down to it, I finally, after literally, I don't know how many shows trying to get an answer out of him as to why he wouldn't fuck transgender women. And he finally said, because it's weird. Well, no shit, motherfucker. No fucking shit. And because I openly admit that, right, from the door, and you've agreed with it all along, somehow I'm wrong. Fuck you, AJ. You ain't got the balls to speak your mind. You don't. Yeah, well, I'll believe it when I see it. I don't even think he got 90 days last time. Columbia University have very few actual Colombians in attendance. That's a hate crime. I used to like this little Colombian girl. She was cute. I liked her. Captain Morgan set you straight, AJ? So Damien said, AJ, I believe I'm transgender. I was assigned male at birth. Help me. How do I identify as a woman? What do I have to do to become a woman? Am I a woman already? Well, AJ ain't fucking you. Because he thinks it's weird. He thinks it's weird. Here's the genius of AJ, right? So he thinks it's weird for him to stick his cock in what he says is a woman. He says men can become women, and that's not weird. But what's weird is if the thought of him putting a cock in one of these women. Liberal logic. Jimmy from Philly. Jungle. AJ from California. Idiot. Bro, who cares what people do? Jesus Christ. AJ, how many times have I said, I don't care what these people do? My problem is there was a movement afoot, it seems to have died down now, to force people, right? To force them to address them by certain pronouns. And my response to that was, if you look like Steve, I'm not calling you Susie. That's right. That's right. I have no embarrassment whatsoever in that. I think most people on the planet would agree with that statement. You think men can become women, but when it comes to fucking them, you think it's weird. You don't think it's weird that men think that anybody thinks they can become a woman, like a man, or a woman become a man? You don't think that's weird? It's more than weird. It's bullshit. It's impossible. No, forced them, AJ. AJ, they were trying to pass laws and all kind of shit. AJ, shut the fuck up, dude. You don't know what you're talking about, dude. You just any subject, AJ, you just make yourself look dumber and dumber, man. You really do. That question, I know. Do you think men can become women? That's how you should start it off. Yeah. Because if you think men can become women, there's nothing that you won't believe. There's no rational thought. There's no discourse with you. There's no reasonableness about you if you believe that. I did read your last chat. 28 days later. I think they're having a new movie 28 years later. I liked all those movies. Right. Yeah, I want to see that. I hope they do well with it, you know. You are discriminating against trans women. Well, yeah. And there's nothing wrong or illegal about that. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm saying me. 28 beers later, starring AJ. 28 beers later, huh, AJ? Well, Jeremiah, from your profile pic, you disagree with homosexuals. What do you mean by disagree with homosexuals? Disagree? I don't think I disagree with homosexuals. I mean, I'm not into the homosexual lifestyle. I see, my big thing is children, AJ. I don't think children should be presented with anything sexual. I think you should let them be children. Leave them the fuck alone. Don't bring them into your political ideology. You know what I mean? Don't discuss adult subjects with them. I mean, shit, I didn't want my kid to know about heterosexual sex, let alone gay sex. Like, it's idiots like you that just you can't think critically. You just something wrong with you. So Jeremiah says, allowing boys in the girls' room. Defended, AJ. Tell me how it's nice to the girls. Yeah. Liquid said, trans women need love too and are offering themselves because bigots like AJ refuse to sleep with them. See, here's what kills me, right? AJ won't put his money where his mouth is, which tells me he doesn't really believe that men can become women. Because if he did, he'd be willing to fuck them, right? I mean, and somebody like him is worse for the trans community. I mean, I make my position clear. If you look like Steve, I'm not calling you Susie. I'm not falling for the delusion. I'm just not going to do it unless you negotiated with me, like Samantha did, and she turned out to be another fucking flake. Couldn't fucking handle me busting balls, literally busting balls about the Trump election. And she made all this allegations against Trump and all this bullshit, but couldn't handle Trump winning. See, when you're an unreasonable person, you reason is like a stake to a vampire. You know what I mean? Like you can't stand reason. This is why AJ has so many problems. This is why trans people have, they have some problems. That's the first time you've seen Point Break. I seen Point Break years ago. It's not a bad movie, but the one thing that I disagree with, when they're skydiving, when they're talking, when they're free falling, you can't talk. You can't. There's too much noise. You're hurtling through the wind. You cannot talk. That was bullshit, but I only know that because I've skydived. Hold on. Chill. Oh, come on. What the fuck did I just do? Oh, shit. You know what? I had this problem. The chat doesn't show up on YouTube for some reason. Yeah, wow. I can't see it. I'm guessing that's my monitor breaking down. See if Poppy chat will work. Nope. Nope. Top chat. Live chat. No, I can't. I've got 3 messages that popped up. I don't think I can do. That's going to really be fucked up. Wow. Jimmy Carter passed? Really? So Joe Biden is the worst president that's still alive. When did Jimmy Carter pass? He died at the age of 100. Well, good for him. So what, he just died? Wow. Well, I think Carter was one of your last true liberals. You know, I mean, see, where Carter fucked up, he thought he could bring Christian values into dealing with foreign governments and his own government. And he soon found out that that doesn't work. Doesn't work. But I think Jimmy Carter was a really decent dude. I like that he was building houses for poor people and homeless people. He did that for years. I think Jimmy Carter was a good dude. I mean, a dumbass for a president, but good dude. Solar panels. Solar panels on the White House. Carter's greatest achievement. You had the right intentions. Yeah, Carter was a good dude. I wasn't a good president, but I don't think he was evil. I don't think he was trying to bring communism in like Biden, Kamala, or Obama. These people are trying to bring communism into the United States. There's no doubt about it. For some reason, nah, apparently he just died. Apparently he just died today. Well, at least he lived to 100. Oh, what the fuck? Yeah. Happy 39 more years for me. Jesus Christ. I don't want to live that long. Fuck that. You know, I had a problem wiping my own ass. That's it. Shoot me. Somebody fucking put me out of my misery. You know, I mean, what the fuck? Are those new headphones? Hell no. I've been wearing these. I got these were like $13 fucking dollars at Home Depot. I couldn't believe it. But, you know, they're not the best in that I wish they hugged my head tighter. The pads are getting fucked up. I like them because they're Bluetooth. What's up, Eleanor? I think they remake films because they're just trying to make money off what worked. If they know a film worked before, chances are, you know, they think they can be successful with it again. It's to make money. I mean, look at the way they rate films now. They want to tell you how much money the film made. Why the fuck should I care how much money a film made? Well, I care about what other people that saw the movie before me think, not how much money it made. You know what I mean? Until I was wearing nah. Oh, okay. Now the chat did come up, but it just took a long fucking time. Oh Christ. Oh wow. The top chat came up. Now I just switched it to live chat, and I guess it's going to take forever. Yeah, that's going to be tough for me to play videos that people want. That's, you know, it's going to be fucked up. Let me keep checking back to see if, wow. I wonder why that is. Funny you mentioned Cialis. I have that. Yeah, I'm trying to stop smoking. I'm so broke. I don't have any money for it. So I'm taking this medicine. Varin Klein tablets, I guess that's what you call them. Supposed to help you stop smoking. You're supposed to take them while you're smoking. What videos? When somebody posts a video here and asks me to play it, I have to transfer it to YouTube, AJ, to play the video. When I transfer to YouTube now, the chat doesn't come up right away. Apparently, I got to wait a few minutes for it to come up. And there's also a difference between, see that? Ain't that a bitch? And it only shows so much of the fucking chat, too. So what's this now? When Scorsese made that last movie, they DH'd the elderly cast. Cost millions, supposedly. When you can do the same thing for free, it looks better. Money laundering. I don't see how you equate that with money laundering, but you would think they could do that with makeup, right? But I guess it's easier on the actors. But if it's costing millions of dollars, I guess you can do that with those kind of actors because they're big names and they probably demand it. AJ's favorite movie is a movie with homosexuals in it. AJ, what's your favorite homosexual? What are you, Muslim now? You fucking moron. You fucking Muslim? Sneaking fucking steel reserves?
What
the fuck are you doing? You're in California and you're wearing a hoodie indoors.
I was fucking around.
What's your favorite gay movie? He's got a Rolodex. He's got to consider.
My favorite gay movie?
Yeah, Brokeback Mountain. Is that it?
I don't know, bro. I couldn't even say my favorite movie. I have to think. Maybe Usual Suspects. That's a good one. But anyway.
Usual Suspects is good, but it's not as good as The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Or Country for Old Men. That's another good one. Just off the top of my head, yeah.
Yeah, but that's still not as good as The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. You ever see The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly?
Nah.
Yeah, you got to see it. That's the best Western ever made. Best Western ever made.
Yeah.
That's where they get. Did you see Breaking Bad?
I haven't, bro. I haven't.
You haven't seen that? What the fuck is wrong with you?
I'm lacking. No, I haven't seen that.
AJ, have you ever rioted? Have you ever rioted, AJ?
Nah.
No? Not out there protesting with the rest of the fucking leftist loonies?
No. Tell you, bro, I know a girl that lived right there where Floyd was killed. She was in the riots, the Target.
You know he died from he killed himself. You know that, right? Yeah, the coroner's report and everything.
I know you said
no injuries to his neck, no asphyxiation. All you gotta do is go watch that. All you gotta do is go watch the documentary that's free, The Fall of Minneapolis. It shows you the whole body cam. They never showed anybody that. How can you say no? I saw what actually happened, AJ. You didn't. You saw what they wanted you to see. They're afraid of a riot.
You can't kneel on someone's neck for 9 minutes.
He didn't kneel on his neck, AJ.
Yeah, he did.
It shows you in the video.
He did.
And actually, that's a technique that's taught.
It's not a technique.
To new recruit. Yes, it is. His mother. God damn it. His mother had his training manual. She opened it up and has a picture of a silhouetted picture of a cop kneeling on somebody's back like that.
Not for 9 minutes. Not for 9 minutes. But anyway.
Listen to me. No. See, you don't want to hear nothing that regards truth. That's what bothers me about you. AJ, he was already bagged and tagged.
Bro. The irony.
If you interrupt me one more time, I'm getting ready to get.
The irony.
You keep doing that shit. That's annoying as hell. That's annoying as hell. You know that, right? You don't want to hear nothing. You just want to interrupt somebody. Fucking idiot. You go ahead and you keep believing that cop killed him. You keep believing that.
Yeah. No,
I'll go with the coroner's report and what my eyes see. All right?
Kill him. You most certainly killed him. But anyway.
Yeah. This is a sober person, Jimmy. Yeah, I know. He's a fucking idiot.
I'm sober. Straight up, dude.
Where's the girlfriend?
She's back in Minnesota.
She ran away to Minnesota again? She's done with your stupid
She didn't run away, dude. I just had to end it. I mean,
yeah. Yeah, well, you better hang on to this girl.
Well, that's another thing is like you fuckers always talk shit about this girl in Pakistan. I mean, that's not my.
Oh no, you didn't dump the Mexican for the Pakistani girl, did you?
No, she's just a good friend of mine. She's a great friend of mine.
How much money have you sent that girl under the floorboards?
She's not under the floorboards, but
that's what you said.
It's not what I said. That's what some dickhead in the.
How much money did you send her? How much money did you send her?
Well, like 3 years ago, I sent her a couple $100.
Sent her a couple hundred, and you ain't send me $5 funky ass.
Here we go.
Yeah. Ain't that a bitch?
There we go.
Bobby said, "Fuck Pakistan."
Yeah. Of course, Bobby would say that.
If she comes to your house, I'm sending Haman right over there.
You're what?
Smoky Bacon. What's up? I'm sending Haman right over there.
What's that?
Tom Haman. He's going to be the new director of ICE.
That dude's a fucking moron, dude.
Oh yeah, he's a moron because he wants to enforce United States immigration law, right? Right. The laws that are on the books.
We're all immigrants to this country, dude.
No, we're not all immigrants. I'm not an immigrant.
Yeah.
I'm not.
No,
I'm not.
You are.
I was born here. I'm not an immigrant.
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying you don't know what you're talking about. I was born here. I'm not an immigrant.
Yeah. You're born in the country that was stolen from the Native Americans.
Oh, it was stolen. Is that it? And did you know that the Indians fought? Did you know that the Indians fought each other and stole their own land and murdered and killed their own people?
What does that have to do with anything?
What? Oh, so it's okay for the Indians that were
Go
here,
back to Europe,
right?
homeboy.
Shut up, to fight other tribes, right? To fight other tribes and take their land and murder their people. But when we come over here and take their shit, somehow we're fucking wrong, right?
Yeah. Hmm?
Guess what? They lost, AJ.
Well, I mean,
they lost.
Where I live, it was Mexico. You know.
Yeah, and guess what? They lost.
Mm-hmm.
They lost too,
Yeah, but
didn't they? Mexicans lost too, didn't they?
Stealing land from people, in my opinion,
No,
it's not
the
right.
land wasn't stolen. They were conquered, you fucking idiot. It's been since the dawn of time. That's how humans have done it.
I mean,
stolen. You're a puke commie. That's what the fuck your problem is.
Mm-hmm.
You're a putrid
you can't
commie.
even explain communism.
What do you mean? There's communism right there, folks. There it is. Right there.
Mm-hmm.
There he is.
No,
right there. That's communism. That's communism. Unreasonable person. You have unreasonable opinions you can't back up. You don't do any research. You let the TV tell you what the
I don't do any research
on the internet tell you what to think. You cannot think for yourself. You can't. You're on the wrong side of everything. The wrong side of everything.
Listen here. All you research is right-wing fucking rags. That's all you read.
It's not true.
Yeah, that's true. It's absolutely true. 100%. So, but anyway, dude. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
What's up, Paca? Paca.
I saw Paca on 42 stream the other. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday.
42 is too hard to fucking understand. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Well, he's a unionist too, so.
Ricky Bacon said the Indians were chopping and scalping each other, and the Indians
weren't
the first people on the continent. Don't interrupt me, asshole.
All right. My bad.
See, this is what I understand, AJ. The Indians, right? All different tribes of Indians. They weren't all friendly to each other, right? They fought. They had war, right? Right? Mm-hmm. They killed each other and took their land. That's how human beings, since the dawn of time, have done
a lot of them did.
And guess what? The Europeans came over here and took their fucking land.
A lot of them didn't. But, I mean, it's like, that's what's funny when people say, like, oh, Mexicans should go back to their land. This was their land.
No, this wasn't their land.
Yeah, it was.
Part of California, maybe, but they lost it because they tried to fight a war and they lost.
Where you live.
Do you understand? They lost.
Where you live.
And they're a shit fucking country. Their government does nothing for their people. It's so bad there that they want to escape into the United States.
No. Well.
And rather than fight and overcome their government and make things better for their own people, they come here and illegally invade us.
How are they illegally invading us?
Oh my God. Are you really this stupid? Are you really this fucking stupid?
I mean, my family left Ireland to come here because of the fucking British. So,
and
they're coming here to seek a better life.
Did your family come here illegally? Did they come through a legal port of entry?
No.
What do you mean no? What do you mean no? You don't even know what I'm saying. Did they come through?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Then they came through a legal port of entry.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
Most of these people from Mexico came here illegally, AJ. They didn't come through a legal port of entry. They're here illegally.
Let me ask you something here. If California seceded from the U.S.,
You fucked it.
do you know the repercussions of that? What would happen?
Yeah, California would be fucked. That would be the
No.
repercussions.
No.
Yeah. Yes.
No.
Yes.
California props up these southern states. They produce tons of fucking agricultural produce.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The fifth largest economy in the world. California.
Guess what, AJ? Guess what, AJ? You know what would happen? You know what would happen? We'd survive. Because that's what human beings have been doing for millions of years. They evolve, they adapt, and they survive. You fucking moron.
Yeah.
What do you think? A bunch of people are going to die because California decides to
Yeah,
secede?
they would.
California needs the United States more than we need California.
No.
How about that? How about that?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. You're deluded. You're deluded. Once again, you're deluded.
Not so. But anyway.
You know what would happen? Another country would go in and take California. That's what would happen.
California
can't defend itself.
No, yeah, absolutely. Plenty of military bases right here.
So you're going to tell me that they're able to keep those military bases when they secede from the United States? Oh, they'd have to come up with a whole bunch of money.
Where do you think that money comes from? California.
What's that?
Where do you think that money comes from? California.
Do you really think that they'd be able to keep all their military bases and all that shit if they seceded from the United States?
Yeah.
You think that would happen?
No.
No, it wouldn't.
No.
It wouldn't.
No, it wouldn't.
No, if they did actually secede, Russia or somebody would come and take California. They would overpower them.
Do you know the poorest states in this country are red states?
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Right?
It just never stops with you. And do you know how many years
California and New York
was a red state, AJ? Basically, California, there's no such thing as a blue state, right? There's only blue cities.
No,
do you understand?
Blue state.
Most of California is red. Most of the people, the area
in the northeast,
is conservative. It's conservative. Look at the maps. Look at all the electoral maps.
Northeast of California.
Most of the United States is conservative, AJ. That's a fact. That's why we have the electoral college. Because when you bunch a bunch of people up in a fucking city, it's really easy to brainwash them.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's up, man? Archon said hello from Italy. What's up, Archon?
What did Mouse Cat say?
Hold on, Archon. Let me explain to you what's going on. I'm a conservative. This moron here is a liberal. He's unreasonable. He's a retard. So there you go. I'd pay for a green card. Leftists are emigrating for U.S. Why not welcome us? Well, nobody's talking about not welcoming people, Archon. We're talking about people that have come here illegally and are allowed to stay. We have laws here against that. We have immigration laws that they're not instituting.
And you know what that is, Jimbo?
What
How does that affect your life?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm just asking a question. How does that affect?
Have you seen what they've done to Britain? Have you seen what they've done to Europe?
No, I'm not talking about Britain.
They have literally destroyed British culture with immigration. Yeah, they've destroyed it. They've destroyed British culture. They have.
What do you think? Because fucking Britain,
they've literally destroyed British culture.
So many countries that, I mean, who cares, dude?
What do you mean, who cares? I'll bet you the British people care. I'll bet you they care.
I mean,
I'll bet you they care.
It's, yeah, you got the curry. Great food now in Britain. I mean,
So Archon, there's all these ungrateful Americans. They don't immigrate. They just sit around and bitch like this asshole, but they never leave. Some of them say they're going to leave, but they don't. They don't. See
but
that
what
next
about?
He's a Brit. Spot on, Jimmy. Our country is broken. They've literally destroyed British culture. Their politicians turned on them, on the British people, and let immigration go amok, which is exactly what they were trying to do here. And British culture is destroyed. It's literally destroyed.
Yeah. What did Britain do to Ireland?
What's this?
What did Britain do to Ireland?
Look, that was the British government back then. Do you understand?
So okay, back then.
So you think the British people see AJ, the governments ain't the one that suffer. No, shut up. The governments ain't the ones that suffer. The British people suffer. The government can let millions and millions of immigrants in. I guarantee you, none of these immigrants affect where those people live, where the government officials that are involved in all this, where they live. It's
they
regular
make it
British.
better.
What's this? They make it better?
Yeah.
AJ, there's all kind of British people in my chat. Not one of them will agree with you. Not one. You won't have one person agree with you. But you'll dismiss that. This is how stupid you are. You're an unreasonable person. You do no research. You have opinions that are shit. You're on the wrong side of everything.
Ask Greggy Bacon if he likes the curry over there. I mean, Britain fucking colonized.
What's up, Richie?
So many places, and
Special K said, yeah. Wait a minute. Special K said, yeah, immigration hasn't affected Canada at all. Immigration is destroying the very countries that these people come to. They're letting way too many of these people in, and then they just crash the gates. They say, fuck it. We're not even going to come in legally. We're not even going to do it legally. Do you know what happens if I were to sneak into Mexico like they sneak in here? You know what they would do to me, AJ? 1 year in a Mexican prison. That's what they do.
Mexico isn't the U.S., dude. That's the difference.
God. Are you really this fucking stupid?
I mean,
what the fuck does that have to do with what we're talking about?
That's what you were saying.
Is your brain really that fucking melted? What the fuck is wrong with you?
The U.S. is a melting pot. You fucking go to New York City. You get fucking Haitian food, fucking Guyana food, Jamaican food, African food, Italian food, like
really
straight on the block.
I mean, you're really this fucking stupid.
No, I don't care. I like people from different countries coming here. That's what makes this country great. You know, that's what's fucking great about this country.
Ludwig said AJ is either purely trolling because he enjoys the wind up, or he's really this simple-minded. Ludwig, he's really this simple-minded. That's what it is.
Let me ask Ludwig how I'm
simple-minded. You're simple-minded.
How I'm simple-minded. How am I simple-minded?
What's this?
I'm asking Ludwig how I'm simple-minded.
Everything that comes out of your mouth. Dude, I'm talking about legal immigration.
Give me 1 point.
I just gave you one. I'm talking about legal immigration and how it destroys cultures, and you're talking about Haitian food.
What's the culture of the U.S.?
What's this? American. That's the culture. American.
What's the culture?
American.
They're bro.
What do you
You
mean?
can't
It's
give me a
America.
point.
That's the culture. But they're trying to change it with all these fucking illegals coming in. But wait till you see what Trump does. Wait till you see him start kicking millions of people out. Then you'll see. Then you'll see. I mean, it's gonna fucking happen too. I can't fucking wait. You're on the wrong side of everything, AJ. Billy Blocks, what's happening? You are simple. You sound very stupid, ignorant, and probably brainwashed, subverted. Well, he is. I've been telling him this for fucking years. What's up, Linda? Damn, I got 30 people in the chat. Broadcast Bar said I'm 100% correct. A lot of these people that I'm saying right now, they're all from Europe. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
They're all experiencing this. They live there, AJ. But yet you got a different opinion. I don't understand this.
And most of them are racist.
So most of these people in my chat are racist.
Yeah.
So
100%, dude.
So what? You like hanging around racists? You must be a racist too.
No, I just like
coming
in.
Sense at all.
Huh?
Dude, you are an unreasonable person because you've been fucking countermanded by commies. You believe.
Yeah, I'm a communist.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You argue
Well,
like
you say the Democrats are
like
commies, but the Democrats get tons of money from corporations.
For the most part, they're communists. Yes, corporations will go whatever way they think the money's going. AJ, look at how they all supported Black Lives Matter, which was a complete scam. Black Lives Matter was a complete racist scam. That's what it was. It was a racist scam against white police officers. Yeah, a racist scam. Yeah, exactly what it was.
Yeah.
What's up, hoax? Racist card played. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, well, it's true.
Hate your own kind, AJ. That makes you a traitor.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I hate white people.
I have to laugh myself up off the floor. This stream is one for the history books, Jimmy. What does public corporation mean? Yeah, it's motherfucker. Akron from Italy said, "Good thing I've been off weed for 10 years if this is where it gets you." AJ, you're such a fucking moron. You know that? I mean, you.
Who does Akron support?
What's that? Who do you think he supports? Who do you think?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
Listen, AJ, here's what this comes down to. Conservatives are now the party of reasonableness. The Democrats are unreasonable. It's just that simple. You can't see it any other way. You can't.
So
that's the way it is.
Give one example of how that's the reason.
Every time I open my mouth, I'm giving examples when I talk to you. But you don't want to hear it.
You aren't.
Every time I open my mouth,
you're not giving any
out of my mouth is an example. You disagree with every fucking thing.
You're not giving any policy.
You have nothing to back it up. I'm sitting here telling you that immigration has destroyed Europe. I probably have at least 10 people.
It has, dude. It has.
Every one of them, and they live there, they experience it. Every fucking one of them agree.
Listen
but
here.
you want to argue.
Listen here. I know a ton of people in Europe.
Listen to me. There's no
point
arguing with you.
Yeah. Are you kicking me off?
Yep, pretty much. Sick of this shit. I mean, why even argue with this fucking dickhead? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he's gone. It gets frustrating. I mean, Jesus Christ. he just, oh my God, man, it just gets mind numbing. I mean, you just get done arguing points with him, and then he's like, name one thing. What the fuck, man? Broadcast did well to last that long with him. I got to tell you, man, it's taxing to let somebody to argue with somebody like that. Like, there's no reason, there's no critical thinking, there's no acceptance of anything other than what he thinks, even when presented with mountains of evidence. He just, we stole the land and all this bullshit. And it all leads to communism. Letitia Logan, hashhead. What? Hashhead. Okay, hashhead. No, I haven't seen you before. Unless you're Nelson or somebody else, I don't know. Feel free to subscribe. I think my headline got a few people in here. my Trump is God. I brought 0 points. I have an entire chat that would disagree with you, AJ. But see, you know, there's it's mind numbing talking to a fool like you. And you are a fool. You prove it every time I talk to you. Billy Block said they aren't even his thoughts. They're the propaganda soundbites he absorbed from CNN, etc. Right, exactly. She's okay. I have, and guest was a nightmare. Okay, I don't know what you mean by that. So you subscribed, and guest was a nightmare. Oh, okay. So Letitia, I guess Logan, a new person, AJ, was listening and thinks you're a nightmare. You moron. Jesus Christ. It's just too much. And here, even our new guy from Italy here, Archan. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Archon. Archan. I don't know. It's probably Archon. Absorbed, huh? Like he's some kind of vegetable. AJ, you're a fucking vegetable. Yeah, we stole the land from the Indians. All this bullshit. Let me fucking tell you something. The Indians, there were many tribes before Europe came. Not all of them were friendly. They fought each other. They made war with each other. They took each other's land. And guess what? Europeans came over and fought them better. And most of them died from disease that the Europeans brought over with them. You know, be the same thing. Like if I went over to Africa now, I'd probably die from malaria. You got to take pills to go over there. So, just back from New York, watching from Ireland. Okay. So you're Irish. I take it there. I'm Irish too. I'm Scot-Irish. With a little bit of Pennsylvania Dutch and a smidgen of Spanish from somewhere way back when, my mother told me. Yeah, here's AJ trying to sound smart. Doesn't matter to me. Enter the eye of the storm. Jesus Christ. Take AJ back to Ireland. Oh my God. So Letitia, am I saying it right? Laisha or Letitia? See, I'm thinking of that prosecutor in New York, the goofball that was fucking with Trump. So your name is probably Laisha. I don't know. But anyway, so what I do here is basically it's like a free flow conversation. And if AJ's around, I usually beat up on him because he's a moron. But we're mostly conservative here. We like Trump and God forbid. And, I got people from Europe. I got people from the United States. Mostly conservative, reasonable people. So. Yeah, I'm Irish and Scottish on my mother's side. And on my dad's side, Welsh and got some Pennsylvania Dutch in there. I'm a mutt, I'm not one of anything. So Eleanor, who was more brutal, the Aztecs or the Mayans? I think the Mayans were more brutal. They were some brutal motherfuckers, man. Yeah, they were Indians, weren't they? Right? Yeah, the Mayans were with the human sacrifices and shit. The Mayans were fucking treacherous. There were some treacherous motherfuckers. But see, that's what they did back then. Like what are you gonna do? I guess this is some fucking Scottish thing. I don't know. Jimmy is a bit Scotland, the brave, and to be sure Irish, with a windmill and a tulip. Okay. Jimmy, why do you even care what Mayans do, bro? Jimmy, a bit Welsh. Yeah, that's my last name, Welsh. So great long sing us a tune. Sheila ... What's up, Sheila? Oh Christ, how did I? Oh, what's up, Sheila? Sheila ... Buy me a man. Only good thing with Canadian immigrants is all the cute Asian and Middle Eastern girls that are raised there in good money and lifestyle. Okay. Has anybody heard from Honey Monster? I think Honey Monster made an appearance within the last 3 months, I think. Probably more so like the far end of 3 months. He came in, 2-3 months ago. I actually had him on the channel and was talking to him face to face the one time. Nino Licious. Okay. You fucking better behave, Nino, or you're fucking out of here. It's raining May. So you might have. So Laisha or Letitia or whatever the hell your name. I can't figure out your name, but you missed the beginning of the show. I did a thing on the origins of modern day transgender surgery, and it's horrific. It's horrific. It's really bad. It's really bad. And the guest AJ, he believes that men can become women, but he won't have sex with these transgender women. And it took me probably 15 shows to get it out of him. He wouldn't tell me why, right? Because if you think they're women, right, you should be willing to have sex with them, right? Well, it took me about 15 shows, and he said, because it's weird. No shit. Really? I don't know how you think about it, but I think most people agree with me. Men can't become women. They just can't. Sorry, you can try. You can you know. So many medical malpractices going on. I remember that tranny discussion. Well, I did a video early, like early in the show, and I didn't know this. So apparently, a woman had twins. Apparently, these two twins, they were infants. They had some kind of problem with their penises. They didn't really get into what it was, but doctors seemed to think that circumcision would correct the problem. So they do the first circumcision, and the doctor fucked the kid's dick up, like beyond repair, somehow, right? So she doesn't do it with the other kid, and the circumcision, right? Why would she? They just fucked up the one kid's dick, right? So she brings the kids home, and the situation that the kid had, the other kid, it resolved itself anyway, right? But anyway, this mother don't know what to do. She's got a little boy. He ain't really got a dick. You know what I mean? Like his dick ain't gonna work. So she hears this fucking psychiatrist or psychologist. He's on TV or something saying that he can do sex change operations, and she thought, well, maybe that's the solution for my child. I mean, and who could blame her? I mean, she wants her kid to be happy, right? I mean, boy without a dick, that's rough. You know what I mean? So, but it turned out that they had the surgery and all that, and the kid never felt comfortable. And at 14, he started acting like a boy again. And long story, and he actually had children. He adopted children, married a woman. I don't know, fuck, he figured that one out, but good on him. Forgave his mother, and because his mother was just trying to, make sure the kid's happy. I mean, I'm sure the mother didn't do it because she was evil, but there are some evil women today that I can see some of these trans people, especially the ones that become little celebrities. You can see the parents get off on it. They make money off it. They're narcissistic. It's sad, but they live through their children. They live through the fame of their children being trans, or it's fucked up. But sadly, this dude wound up killing himself at 38 years old. He committed suicide. Yeah. But and also this psychologist that talked the mother into the sex change operation, he would require that she bring her twins to see him every year, right, when they were kids, and he would have them molest each other in the office, and I think he was molesting them too. Oh yeah, it's really sick, and a lot of it, and for many years, the medical community considered this successful. It wasn't until he came out on Oprah Winfrey's show and said, no, it was a disaster. But they based a lot of this trans stuff on that surgery, and it was a total disaster. Now, from what I understand, the biggest affirming care center was in Britain somewhere, right? And they just closed it down. Some pediatric doctor, female, did a study on the cases that went through this place, and she was like, absolutely not. They shut down the it was the biggest gender affirming, like, I guess, hospital in the world, and they shut it down. And a lot of European nations are shutting down all this gender affirming care shit because it's not doing anything. It's hurting kids. I don't want to see children get hurt. Now, it's one thing, like if you're an adult and you want to have sex surgery and all that, hey, have at it. Hopefully you inform yourself. Hopefully you do some fucking research. But prior to that, no, I don't think children. I mean, you got these 5 and 6 year olds like coming out saying they want to be a girl, and where are they getting that from? Like at 4, 5, 6 years old, You're not thinking about that kind of shit. 3, 4, 5 years old. You're not thinking about a boy or a girl or sex or. It is sick. It is sick. It's very sick. It's very sick. So, yeah. Well, it's these fucking teachers, right? You got these fucking 20-some-year-old teachers that have this liberal ideology that they want to listen. I don't want my young child knowing about heterosexual sex, let alone gay sex. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Let them be children. Yeah. When parents bitched about some of the books that they were putting in kids' libraries, like some of these books are talking about how to give a blowjob and anal sex and all this shit. Like, come on, man. For grade school and high school, no, you don't want, no. Why would I make you a mod? You're a commie. I can't have a commie mod. I can't have a commie mod. No commies for mods. Sorry. No commie. Oh, shit. Wow. Oh, shit. And then the rampage. What the fuck? So. So here they go with some more pandemics coming. These motherfuckers just won't stop. This is my brother. For anybody that doesn't know, this is my brother, RPW Media.
Another pandemic scare. The CDC is sounding the alarm on H5N1 bird flu, and things are already getting eerie. From backyard chickens to viral mutations, this story has it all. Could this be the next big health crisis? Or is this just another media frenzy because Trump is coming back to the White House? You have to think about that and consider it. We're going to break it all down and find out what's going on so far. Let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you haven't already, become a subscriber to the channel. Hit that notification bell and smack that like button because it helps us with the algorithm to get our message out to more people. All right, guys. The CDC has done it again. Another potential pandemic for the highlight reel. This time, it's the H5N1 bird flu. Yeah, bird flu. Not exactly the sequel to COVID-19 we wanted, but hey, they've got to keep us on our toes, right? I mean, Donald Trump could actually make America great again. If the symbiote of lefties, foreign and domestic, don't double down and hit us with something that would strangle our economy again, right? So what happened? Apparently, a 65-year-old man in Louisiana became the first severe U.S. human case. How? Well, they're telling us by hanging out with a bunch of sick birds in his backyard. No, seriously, that's what they're saying. Of all hobbies, this guy picks viral roulette. But here's where it gets downright unsettling. A genetic study, it's being reported, revealed mutations that could make the virus better at infecting humans. Mutations, guys. Already? You know what that means. It's either evolving or someone's been tinkering in the lab again. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And it doesn't stop there. Earlier this year, a teenager in Canada caught the same virus, and yep, it came with its own set of mutations too. Are we supposed to believe that this is all just a coincidence? Just one big coinky-dink? Or maybe, just maybe, there's something else at play here. Remember when they said COVID-19 was low risk at first? Fun times. But don't worry, the CDC assures us that the current risk to the public is low. Sure, just like 2 weeks to flatten the curve, right? Haven't we heard this story before? It always starts with low risk, right? Until suddenly everyone's hunting for toilet paper again. And here's the thing. These mutations didn't show up in the birds the Louisiana man had contact with. That means the virus mutated after infection. How? Translation? This avian flu decided to evolve and level up in the middle of the game, or maybe another lab did the work for us. You have to ask these things. Now, call me a skeptic, but naturally occurring isn't exactly the phrase that comes to mind. So what's the takeaway here? Is this a new natural disaster, or are we looking at yet another engineered crisis? I mean, I'm just asking a question here. With all the chatter about global powers and biological weapons, it's hard not to wonder if there's more to this story. And let's be real. The timing of these outbreaks always seems a little too convenient, doesn't it? I don't believe this bird flu is a naturally occurring virus that will hit humans any more than I thought COVID-19 was. So we're going to keep our eyes out for this. We're going to start listening to the people that mattered during the COVID-19, and we'll report it. All right. Thank you for watching. Hit that notification bell if you want to be kept up to date with the latest news and stories and political commentary like this. I'll see you in the next one. Spread the word.
Why do they lie every time they speak? A puppet on strings, feeding us to see. We're tired of the show, we're sick of the con, but they'll keep lying until we're all gone.
Yep. Looks like they got another fucking pandemic coming right at us just in time for Trump, right? What the fuck? Yeah. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Here's a little Mark Dice. I haven't showed him in a while.
A major rift has occurred in the MAGA movement that started and really blew up on Christmas Day of all times. Now, I've been kind of unplugged over the holiday and wasn't planning on doing any new current event videos until the new year. I have a couple videos that I did in the can just to release so I can relax, unplug, and just reflect over the last year and work on the outline for my new book and get recharged for the coming MAGA 2.0 administration. But this is such an important issue. I feel that we need to get out ahead of it before the neocon talking points start brainwashing average, ordinary Americans into believing this nonsense. Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy are spearheading the movement to expand the H-1B visa program, which would grant like 100,000 work visas to foreign workers, many, if not most of them, from India to benefit the tech industry. And they're being touted and have been touted for years since George W. Bush, or George H.W. Bush, rather, in the 90s, signed it into law as highly skilled workers that we need to keep America leading in the tech industry. And in order to silence criticism of this loophole of importing what are really just mostly average, ordinary workers to replace American citizens, because the foreigners will accept double the working hours for lower pay, Elon Musk is censoring critics of the plan and even suspending them and removing their verification badge. And in the case of Laura Loomer, canceling her ability to have paid subscribers so that she can no longer earn revenue through Twitter through paid memberships. Vivek posted this rather long and lengthy critique of American culture, bragging that the Indians, his people back home, are better than native-born Americans because our culture has venerated mediocrity over excellence for far too long, he says, at least since the 90s, and likely longer, saying that a culture that celebrates the prom queen over the math Olympian champ or the jock over the valedictorian will not produce the best engineers. He then starts trashing American pop culture, saying that a culture that venerates Corey from Boy Meets World or Zach and Slater over Screech in Saved by the Bell or Stefan over Steve Urkel in Family Matters will not produce the best engineers. Somebody better refresh Vivek's memory, because there was a famous episode when the kids took the SATs in Saved by the Bell, and it turns out that Zach Morris was actually the genius, scoring 1502 when Screech scored just 1,220. This meme perfectly illustrates what's happening. The best and the brightest, that's what they're calling these 100,000 Indians coming into work in Silicon Valley every year. Be honest, high-skilled labor. Be honest, cheap labor. Thank you. Maybe we should start taking a closer look into how Vivek actually made his hundreds of millions of dollars. Perhaps there is some truth to him pumping and dumping a bogus Alzheimer's drug and then cashing out the stock or doing a rug pull before the stock crashed when the test results came back and it was no good. These are the highly skilled laborers that Elon Musk and Vivek want to come and work in Silicon Valley, but it's not just Silicon Valley. I mean, maybe we can tolerate a few dozen H-1B visas, a few extremely intelligent specialists in their field, but we certainly don't need thousands of them. We certainly don't need 100,000 of them every single year. And when the neocons claim that these are highly skilled workers that America needs in order to remain competitive in the global economy, all you have to do is actually look at who the vast majority of these H-1B workers are and the jobs that they work, like the base salaries that they're making, $34,000, $39,000, $26,000 as cooks at major hotel chains. Many American workers actually have to train their replacements before they themselves are fired, as this New York Times piece from 2015 surprisingly admits pink slips at Disney, but first training their foreign replacements. Same thing at McDonald's. McDonald's hires foreign H-1Bs, fires 70 American accounting staff. So we need, quote, highly specialized accountants at McDonald's. These are the jobs that Americans just can't do. Jobs that Americans just won't do, they say. Of course, many American first patriots, real conservatives, paleo conservatives as opposed to neoconservatives. Go watch my previous video where I break down the differences between the two camps. Now the neocons basically hijacked and took over the Republican establishment, which then thankfully MAGA was able to wrestle away from them, but now they're trying to make a comeback. People like Michelle Malkin, who for decades now has been publishing books warning about this, and she posted this on Twitter saying that back in 2002 she published a book titled Invasion, noting that we better do something about illegal immigration before it's too late. 2015, her book titled Sold Out, warning that we need to do something about the H-1B visa loopholes and the other big tech visa boondoggles before it's too late. Then in 2019, her book Open Borders, Inc., about how big tech and the Republican establishment are basically not any different than the Democrats when it comes to open borders and illegal immigration. Of course, Tucker Carlson, being an American first patriot, warned about the H-1B legal immigration loophole back when he was on Fox News before being fired in order to try to silence him.
The rideshare company Uber has fired more than 1,000 workers since July, mostly Americans. That's about 2% of its workforce. Meanwhile, during the same period, the federal government has approved hundreds of new H-1B visas for Uber. And that means they can replace those workers with foreign scabs who will work for less.
Aside from J.D. Vance being a Silicon Valley guy who was groomed for that position by Silicon Valley titan Peter Thiel, he also is married to an Indian woman at a traditional Indian wedding. His son is named Vivek. So it's very highly unlikely that he is going to actually admit what the H-1B visa program does. It's a loophole to flood America with foreign workers, most from India, in order to replace their jobs for lower paid foreign workers who are then basically indentured servants to the companies that hire them that they get their visas through. Sadly, it looks like Scott Adams has sided with the legal loophole open border Republican establishment, saying that MAGA is taking a page from Democrats on how to lose elections while feeling good about themselves. And then Elon Musk responded, yes, and those contemptible fools must be removed from the Republican Party root and stem, which is why he's censoring the largest critics on Twitter, on X, locking them out of their accounts, removing their check marks so that their posts don't get shown as much. They're then deboosted. And in the case of Laura Loomer, just completely demonetizing her account, canceling her ability to receive paid subscriptions. Other Republicans are completely clueless or just playing dumb. Like whoever this guy is who posted that Vivek is now getting attacked by the fringe of MAGA, who are racist and anti-legal immigration of skilled workers. They're all just skilled workers, which is why most of them are being paid $30,000 a year and then just replacing average, ordinary Americans. He will handle it with class, and the majority of MAGA will rally around him. Or do I have this wrong? Oh, yes, sir. You definitely do. It's time we take the gloves off now that we won the election. In fact, we must take them off and go after the rhinos, the neocons, and the America Last Republicans in the Republican establishment to just don't get it. It's time we put a gigantic no vacancy sign outside of the borders. No vacancy for illegal aliens. No vacancy for the hundreds of thousands of non-American citizens who the Republican establishment want to replace American workers through the loophole of the H-1B visa. I'm Mark Dice. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you're new here. And be sure to check out my book, The War on Conservatives, for all kinds of reasons, including the breakdown of the difference between paleo-conservatives, real conservatives, and the neocons.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw something that Vivek said, and that was just one thing he said. I don't know if he said something else that people disagree, but people seem to disagree with this. And all he was really saying was that American families don't really position their children to be the best and the brightest. They're okay with mediocrity. And I think he's right about that. I think he's right about that. And I don't know enough about this immigration with these H1, whatever they call them. It's for employment. Do we really need all those people? I mean, or is that just another way of sneaking more immigrants into our country? You know what I mean? Like, holy fuck. I mean, we've got millions of people here illegally. I mean, 20 or 30 million. They need to go. And we have laws that support it. You cannot come here illegally. You have to go. And the whole bullshit about a man and a woman from Mexico come here illegally, right? They don't come through a legal port of entry. That means they're here illegally. And they have a child, and that child's an American citizen? Nah, that gotta stop. That gotta stop. That's completely ridiculous. That was never meant to be that way. No. Because if I were to sneak into Mexico the way they sneak into here, Mexico would put me in prison for a year. That's the penalty for sneaking into Mexico. I don't know who the fuck would want to sneak into Mexico, but So is that the position? So Liquid, is that the position of most conservatives? They're angry with Elon and Vivek? We Brits got it the same. Yeah, I think your politicians fucked you a little further down the line than they have us. and we got Trump, which which will stop all that nonsense. But we got to make sure somebody like Trump stays in there, because believe me, all the shit that happened, your politicians did to your country and what they did to our country, that shit's been in the mix for 50, 60, 70 years. They've been trying to do this shit, positioning themselves, and Elon is showing us. All right, well, listen, people. I'd love to keep the stream going, but I'm fucking extremely hungry. Please hit like if you haven't hit like already. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for stopping by. It's a pretty good stream. I got to bust AJ's balls for a good 45 minutes or a half hour, whatever it was. But and I picked up 5 subs. Holy fuck! Maybe I should come up with some more outrageous headlines for my shows. Apparently, Trump is God piqued a few people's interest. But I'd like to thank everybody for stopping by. Please hit like if you haven't already, and I'll see you again.